Hello, you guys. Namaste. This is me, Diara, and this is another pick a card reading. Welcome to my channel. First of all, before I forgot it, I never mentioned this part in other readings, but today I really wanted to once again thank you all for supporting me, like being with me, subscribing, sharing, commenting all my readings. Feel free to listen to them whenever you feel drawn to. This here, for example, is just another general overall message. It will include a love part as well. I know a lot of you guys are interested, especially into the love thing. But generally spoken, this is a general reading, okay? This is an open message for you whenever you find it. This is meant for you. Keep in mind that this is, as all the other readings as well, a general pick a card reading. This is not to be compared with a private reading, okay? So maybe that for you today, there's maybe just one single sentence that's important to you. Just a little piece of the whole message that's meant to be for you today. Who knows, right? Maybe it's the whole message, right? This is also, of course, possible. But I just wanted to point out that again, just to be sure that you take it the right way, okay? Be objective, take everything with a grain of salt, and remember, this is just a general reading, okay? Whenever you feel drawn to have something more personal, you know how you can contact me. If you don't know how to contact me, you will find the information down in the description box, as well as the timestamps. Okay, so if you find the timestamps, you will for sure also find a way how to contact me, okay? So, having said this, let's get started with pile number one. This is a general open message for all of you who found this reading and who are interested in what the Spirit wants you to know today, okay? In this certain moment today, whenever today is, yeah, since it's a timeless reading, this can be today, this can be in a year from today. You know what I mean? So let's see what the Spirit wants you to know. Pile number one. Let's put the other two aside. Okay, your message is about vulnerability, okay? And they want you to remember or to recognize, because maybe you haven't recognized it so far, that your vulnerability is a superpower. It is something that makes you strong. And I know it sounds a little bit paradox maybe, but it really is like that. Maybe you are hypersensitive. Maybe you are one of these people who since you can remember, you always felt drawn to things like spirituality, card readings, things like that. I don't know. Philosophy, maybe also art in whatsoever way. Maybe you always, since you were a child, you like to draw, to paint, to sing, to play the piano, things like that. So I feel like a lot of you guys are very, very sensitive in whatsoever way. Maybe you are thinking about working with this superpower. Okay. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you feel a little bit ashamed. Maybe you feel like there's something wrong with you because you are so sensitive and you, I don't know, you think about stuff so much, right? Others, they probably don't think about stuff so much, they just live their life. This is how it looks like from the outside. Maybe it looks to you that everyone else is super happy and, like the grass is always greener at the other side. But Spirit wants you to know today that your vulnerability is in fact a superpower and you can learn how to use it. There are very, very powerful ways in order how to use vulnerability, being wounded, having been through pain and stuff like that. You can make something out of it. As funny as it may sounds in the first place, but really you can make something out of it. It's as they say, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade out of it. You know what I mean? Or another way how to say it is, if they are putting blocks into your way, you know, like obstacles, you can build something out of these stones, you know? So don't you see vulnerability and being a hypersensitive person, being into things like energy healing, Reiki, yoga, meditation, esoteric in itself, you know? Don't you feel like there's something wrong with you because you are like that? There are so many people out there who feel the same. I mean, why do you think that pick a card readings internet is so successful? I mean, look at all these readers out there, and these readers, they are normal people. You wouldn't probably recognize them if you see them in a supermarket, right? So it's all good. There's nothing wrong with you, right? And as a matter of fact, probably you can really start now to do something with your vulnerability and your superpower of being sensitive, probably even hypersensitive. It's time for you now to see things clearly, okay? It's time for you now to see things from a different angle and another perspective, a broader perspective. Probably it would be good for you if you really start to surround yourself with like-minded people a little bit more. Maybe you never wanted to do something like that, right? But Spirit is letting you know that right now would be a good moment for you to do so, to really go out and find like-minded people, workshops, trainings, seminars, you know, go to the yoga studio that's around the corner, you know, in your neighborhood, or maybe just visit the next biggest town. If you don't want to do something just, you know, like in your neighborhood, because you are afraid of what others would talk about you, then just go to the next biggest town, okay? Or book a retreat, something like that. Combine that with the holidays. I don't know. So there is a very clear message from Spirit that they say, hey, for you, it's time now to see things in a completely different way. Your life, your situation, the people that are around you, maybe even your relationships, you know. This is a little bit going into the love department as well here. So it could also be that it's time for you to see your partner in a different way, the one that you are in love with, your crush, your ex. Speaking about love, let's see what we have here in terms of love. So this is very interesting. We have unrequited love. We have give your relation a chance and attraction. I feel combined with the first two cards that we had, that you have been through a lot of unrequited love in the past. I feel like a lot of you guys who choose pile number one, you always felt for the wrong people. People who did not return feelings, you know, like people who probably never even really recognized you. Do you know what I mean? Your picker was wrong. I'm speaking about the picker and stuff like that, you know, like unrequited love pretty often in my readings. So maybe if you follow me already for a longer while, you know what I mean. But I'm pretty sure that this message is, you know, like remembering you that, and this goes again with seeing things clearly, that, yeah, how can I say that? I don't want to hurt anyone here, but if we are in an unsatisfying situation, especially when it comes to love, it goes for every department. It goes for job, it goes for friendship as well. But since we are speaking about love now, let's keep it with the love thing, okay? If you repetitively find yourself in an unhealthy, unsatisfying, maybe even toxic situation when it comes to love, maybe you are single forever, right? Maybe you haven't had a love relationship for the last 10 years or something like that. That it always has to do with yourself as well. It's not only the fault of X, Y, Z, you know, it has to do with yourself and your choices as well. And right now is a pretty good moment for you to recognize that, to understand that there is a specific part that you have to deal with, right? It's not the right time now to blame others because you are unhappy or you are single or whatever. It's now time to take responsibility. Okay? It's not about blaming yourself here. Don't you get me wrong. I really want to point that out. You know, like it's not your fault. I was trying to avoid using this word. You know, now I'm using it, but in a different meaning, if you know what I mean. So this is not about, you know, like blaming yourself or feeling like, yeah, once again, there's something wrong with you because you were not able yet to find love. It's just saying that, yeah, you haven't found the right one so far, but you should not give up hope because they say, hey, give your relation a chance. Probably you will find the right one within the next few weeks or months, right? Probably you are entering a whole new world right now, if you know what I mean. This is Spirit's message to you. Don't you give up hope. Yes, maybe your picker was wrong. Maybe, yes, you always felt for the wrong people, you know, like, or people were not good with you. They cheated on you. I don't know what, right? But this is over with. And you are now starting to see that. And I like this message a lot. I think this is probably the best message for you to get. Really. At this point in life, wherever you are, whoever you are, this is a beautiful message to get. I mean, isn't it? Think about it. Isn't it beautiful to finally see things clearly and to finally understand what's going on and why you are where you are? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a great place to be? You know, like having this overview and really being able to embrace this message without blaming, without this bitter taste of, oh my goodness, the last 10 years of my life has been a waste. No, of course not. Your life is not a waste. You are not a waste. You are not a failure. There's everything good with you. You are perfect the way you are. And you should never give up hope. And you should never stop working on your love situation, okay? Because this is what this card says as well. Work on your love situation. There's always the right time for healing, I'm hearing, for you, pile number one. There's always the right time, the right timing to start to heal. Always. Okay, one final oracle card for you, and then we will move over to pile number two. Is there anything else that Spirit would like you to know? Anything else? Any other? Yeah, you see, once you started to balance out the things in your life, you know, like to find the right balance. And please take this message just as it resonates, okay? I'm just leaving it like this. Once you find to balance out your life, yourself, you will enter milk and honey. You know, like you will feel fulfilled and happy and healed. And there's a rainbow, you know, like every cloud has a silver lining. It's a choice. It's your choice. You decide. But remember, it's always the right time for healing. Always. Wherever you are, whoever you are, you know, whatever your situation is like, there's always the right time for you to heal and to move on and to grow and to develop and to change also, to change your life situation if you want that. If this is something that you want to do, if you want to step out, if you have recognized already that, hey, okay, I can probably not change the people around me and I definitely cannot change the past. This is something impossible for every one of us. We cannot change the past, but what we can change is we can change ourselves if this is what we want to do. And this way we will change the future, right? So I leave it here, pile number 1. Let's move on to pile number 2, people. So if you have chosen pile number 2, what does Spirit wants you to know today? Being curious. Okay, so they want you to stay open because probably something beautiful is about to enter your life, okay? Just stay open and think outside the box, I'm hearing. Pile number 2, okay? They are telling you that now is the right time to follow your heart as well, okay? To follow your heart and to listen to your gut feeling, okay? Intuition. Intuition is going to play a major role in your life in the future. Within the next few days, weeks, and months, intuition and following your gut feeling is playing a major role. Okay, this is your message, pile number 2. It is pretty much jumping out of the cards. So when you want to do something, maybe you already know what the cards are talking about. Maybe you have an idea, maybe you have a dream, maybe you have a certain project, you know, do it. Just do it, okay? Follow your heart. Do whatever you feel is good and is right. Don't you listen too much to others. I mean, yes, probably others do have good advice and others may know a few things more about whatever it is that you are planning to do. I'm not saying to ignore completely the advice of others. I mean, I'm giving you advice as well, right? But at the end, it's not so much about what others say and what others would do if they were you. It's about what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? From all the answers that are out there, you know, like all the spiritual people, all the pick a card readings, the oracles, I don't know, the gurus, the teachers, the coaches, the mentors, the books, the meditations and whatnot. From all these things out there, the most important answers you will get from yourself. At the end of the day, you will get it from within. Okay, so listen to your inner voice, right? This is your message, pile number 2. If you have spontaneous ideas, you know, let's just say you wake up tomorrow and you wanted to, just let's say you wanted to go to the gym, okay? You wanted to go to the gym. That's your plan for today, okay? You want to go to the gym. But, you know, like you wake up, you get your coffee and you pack your things for the gym. And then all of a sudden you feel the urge to go to the library instead. Or maybe not instead, but first of all, you know, like there is certainly and suddenly this immense pull to go to the library or to the bookstore, whatever, you know, and bam, probably you will find exactly the right book there, okay, with all the answers that you have been looking for. Or maybe you will run into a good old friend on the way to the bookstore or to the library, right? You will run into someone that you haven't seen for a while, and this is going to be the best day ever that you guys will have, because spontaneously you will decide to have a coffee together, you know, like, and then you go to this coffee shop and you will spend maybe the whole day there. You know, like, and then from coffee, you will move over to lunch, and from lunch, you will move over to, I don't know, another coffee, or maybe probably a glass of wine. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly you will recognize that, oh my goodness, we spent the last 6 hours together and we had the best conversation ever. You know, we discovered things that we haven't known before, or we discovered, how much similarity there is, or synchronicity, or they will tell you something that will have a major impact in the future, okay? And all of this would never have happened if you have not decided to change your plan, if you know what I mean. Okay, so maybe this sounds a little bit weird. I hope it doesn't, but something along those lines I'm hearing for you. Okay, so Spirit is really, really, really calling you out to listen to your intuition and to your spontaneous ideas. Whatever comes up in your head, you know, like popping up, do it. Okay, do it, and don't you second guess it, you know, like, do you say it like that? Don't you, you know, like question your ideas and your intuition, because some beautiful things and coincidences can occur from these spontaneous ideas. Okay, so be open, be curious, be spontaneous, be adventurous, and just do, you know, like the next few days and weeks, just do whatever pops up in your head. Okay, when it comes to love, what do we have when it comes to love here? Pile number 2. Trust and patience. The situation is calling you to have faith and patience. Show your love. Yeah, it goes so good with curiosity, right? Just do it. Just show whatever wants to be shown. Yeah, just do and just say whatever wants to be said, right? And then past life relationship. Let me get a little more clarification here when it comes to love. What does Spirit wants you to know in terms of love? Love yourself first. I feel like you are still recovering from a past relationship. Maybe not necessarily from a past life. Maybe yes, but also, you know, like in this lifetime. Maybe you have been through a breakup recently, or you have been in love with someone who is not returning the feelings, you know, or maybe you don't know at all where you're at with your person, your crush, your ex, whatever, and you are still in this recovery phase. Right now, it is very important for you to love yourself first, okay? And if you feel guided to let your person know that you are still having feelings, or that you do have feelings, maybe they don't even know that yet, then do it, okay? This is really, the cards are calling you out to do whatever you feel is right. Maybe you want to do it, but you are too afraid of the outcome, you know, like the answer, because this is always what I say to my customers, right? You know what the real price of a card reading is? I'm not speaking about the money here, but the real price is afterwards, you know what's going on. And sometimes knowing the truth can be painful because there's a risk. I mean, showing your love sounds good in the first place, right? Showing the love, and you know, like here the card is saying, be brave and take a step towards your partner. It sounds good. It sounds tempting, right? You know, but there's a risk with it, because if you show your love, if you letting them know that, hey, you know what, I would love to have a coffee with you one day. I would love to go to the movie cinemas with you one day. So here's my number, and if you feel the same way, call me, okay? Bye. But there's a risk, because what if they never call? What if they do have your number? What if they do have your number and they know that you would be open, but they never call? Yeah, that's the risk, right? So it may sound tempting to show your love, and Spirit is asking you to do it. If this is what you want to do, do it. Okay? But there's a price tag, because afterwards you may know something that is probably a little bit painful, because if they never call you, if they don't want to have this coffee, if they don't want to feel like they want to go to the movie, cinema, or whatever, you know, party, dancing, ... well, there you go. But at least, since we are talking about curiosity, you know, like, and this wanting to know, at least now you know, because afterwards, you know, I mean, you are curious whether they love you or not. You are curious whether there is still a chance for you and I don't know, your person, go out and ask them. Be brave, go out and, yeah, just ask them. Don't ask a card reader what they feel and what they think about you. Ask them. Ask them personally. But once again, the reason why the majority of people would never do a thing like that, they would never, like straightforward ask their person, hey, I really wonder what you think about me. I really wonder whether or not we would have a chance together as a couple. The reason why the majority of people will never do something like that is because they are afraid of the answer. Probably for a reason. Probably they are afraid about this answer because unconsciously they already know that the answer is going to be a no. And they are trying to avoid the confrontation, like with this rejection and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. This is probably for some the case, not necessarily for everyone, okay? So don't you feel accused here or offended, okay? I'm not accusing anyone, and I'm trying not to offend someone here, but I'm just speaking it the way it is. Because actually what you can be sure about, you may not be sure about whether this reading applies to you or not. You may not be sure about whether they like you or not, but I can tell you something, what's for sure. There is a reason for everything. There is a reason for everything. We may never know the reason. We may never know all the answers. But if there's one thing for sure, then there is a reason for everything. For everything. Everything that happens and everything that doesn't happen. There's always a reason, okay? So this is what Spirit wants you to know today, okay? So this is your message, pile number 2. I hope it resonates. Please feel free to comment and to, feedback. And now let's move on to pile number 3, okay? Pile number 3 people, hey. This is your message. What does Spirit wants you to know today? Whenever you find this, this is a timeless reading. Wisdom and 9 of Swords. I feel like you are in a period of your life where you feel down. This is probably what we like to call the dark night of the soul, like a tower moment happened. But Spirit is letting you know that, hey, you know what? The worst is already behind you. Okay, it can only get better. The good thing about being completely down, is that, it can only get better. Because once you are completely down, it can only get better. And this is your message today, pile number 3 people. Okay? Just know that no matter how depressed you feel, no matter what you have been through, like recently, maybe a loss of a person, maybe a loss of work, loss of friends, loss of love, or whatever. Maybe there's a major void, like completely in every single area of your life. Dissatisfaction, like a lack of almost everything that one can imagine, but still Spirit wants you to know that, hey, it can only get better, and it will get better, okay? It will get better. Yeah, you are in the middle of a healing process. This is a rebirth situation. This is a major transformation that's taking place. And every birth comes with pain. It's unavoidable. Once you made a major leap from one stage to another level, like once you are leveling up, growing, developing, increasing, however you want to call it, acceleration and stuff like that, it almost every time comes with a certain amount of pain. Because letting go of old patterns and habits and behaviors, letting go of old situations, people, places, it almost every time comes with pain. That's normal. It's nothing, it has nothing to do with you because you are too weak or too bad or whatever. No, there's always wrong. Everything is okay with you. Okay. Don't you blame yourself here for feeling down or feeling depressed. I know that there are right now a lot of questions that you are asking yourself, why and when and if and whatnot, you know, all these big questions of life. Why me? Why now? Why did it happen? You know, like, couldn't it be different? Yes, maybe, but it wasn't, you know, like, it was the way it was. It is the way it is. And you have to deal with it, and you are dealing with it. You are right in the middle of this healing process. And what would be helpful for you is, every now and then, when you feel like depression is, you know, like, overwhelming you, or these, maybe not really depression in a clinical sense of a word, but maybe, you know, like, metaphorically spoken, you know, like being down, not feeling in the right mood to go out and to get in touch with your friends and stuff like that. Really not being in a party mode right now. But what would be good for you in these moments would be to step aside a little bit, okay? To retreat, to try to create a little bit distance. Sometimes it can be helpful, not every time, because some people, they don't like that at all. I had a friend who always, you know, like, she was almost exploding every time that I mentioned that. But still, I stick to my opinion, because I do believe that when we recognize how rich our life still is, despite of all the pain and the loss and the lack and the void, this can be helpful. And sometimes, yes, it can be helpful to compare yourself with others who are in an even worse stage, if you know what I mean. I mean, maybe you feel like you lost everything and you can never be happy again. But compare yourself with others, because others, they probably have been through way more pain and loss than you have. And I know this is probably a little bit, you know, like, tricky. And I don't want to discuss that point. I don't want to step into it more deeply. I will just, you know, like, leave it there for you. Take what resonates. Probably it is helping you. I've seen a lot of people who, once they remember how lucky they still are, I mean, obviously, you have a PC, you have a computer, you know, like, you have a smartphone. Obviously, you have some kind of device. Obviously, you have access to the internet. So it sounds to me that you live in one of the most rich parts of the world, obviously, right? Obviously, you don't live in a slum somewhere in Mumbai or Rio de Janeiro, like a lot of people do. They don't have a smartphone. They don't have the luxury to listen to pick-a-card readings, right? I mean, I'm speaking about these kind of things. Imagine all the people who are dealing with disabilities, you know, like, who are incapacitated in whatsoever way. People who are in hospitals. I know this is tricky. I know that. And I had these comments of people who said, like, hey, I don't want to listen to stuff like that. Why are you mentioning people who are probably blind or not able to walk? Yeah, I have my reasons. I have my reasons. Healing can take place in many ways. For some, it's therapy. For some, it's, I don't know what, you know, but it can be healing to understand that still, despite of all your pain, you are in quite a lucky position in this lifetime. Yes, maybe not everything is okay. And maybe, yes, you are still suffering from whatever. But always have in mind that everyone is dealing with their own shit, right? Everyone. You're not the only one. And probably this has a healing effect on you. Probably not. But yeah. I just wanted to mention that because I'm hearing that, okay? Maybe it's helping you, maybe not, who knows? Is there anything else? You know, like, I was just mentioning it because of this card here. And this card speaks about creating a distance. Creating a distance in order so you can see things more clearer. You know, you can really see the things the way they are, and not from your perspective only, but from a higher perspective. And from a higher perspective means to, create a little bit an emotional distance and to see the things a little bit more pragmatic, you know, de-emotionalize your problems and your situation. At least try to do so. Otherwise, you will probably get lost in all these questions and in all this pain. And this is for sure not helping you. I mean, maybe my examples are not really helpful for some of you, those who will thumb me down for this message, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, like questioning and getting into the pain deeper and deeper and deeper, you know, is for sure also not really helpful, right? But anyways, is there any other message from Spirit? Pile number 3, peaceful solution. Try to find a peaceful solution, okay? Try not to over-dramatize the things. Try to de-emotionalize the things instead. This way you will find a peaceful solution, okay? So let's have a quick look into the love department. Let go of control issues very soon, and you deserve to be loved. Yeah, you see? Get rid of control issues. Stop questioning yourself. Stop questioning the situation. Stop questioning life, karma, destiny, fate. Allow the situation to unfold naturally, organically. You know, it is how it is. What's meant to be will be, and no one is ever able to take away from you what's supposed to be yours, right? So if you are in a situation, just as one example, where you feel like you deserve this or that or a specific person, if this person is supposed to be your life partner, they will be with you. At the end of the day, you guys will connect. You will be together. If it is really meant to be like that. Maybe it is not meant to be like that. In this case, whatever you do in order to make it happen will fail anyways, right? Because you can't force someone to love you. So really let go of any kind of control issues, obsessive behavior, or addictions, okay? Very soon. This is a time card, right? Let's get clarification. What's about to happen very soon? Why did this card came? Stay optimistic. Let go of your ex. Watch for the warning signals. Yeah. So I feel for those who are still in love with someone, and it's somehow not really, you know, like happening, very soon you will find out why. There are definitely some warning signals, some red flags here in the play that you may or may not have yet figured out, but you will. Very soon you will start to understand why the things are the way they are, okay? And this will probably lead you into letting go of control issues and also letting go of your partner, the one that you have in mind, whether this is a crush, an ex, so your person, as we always like to say it here on YouTube, you know, the things will happen that will lead you to finally let go of this obsession. I will call it obsession, whether you like it or not, okay? Stay optimistic though. Stay optimistic. You deserve to be loved. Maybe not by this person, but there is someone out there, and probably a lot of people out there, who are willing to love you and who are willing to take you the way you are. There's a situation coming where finally there are no more obstacles and delays and problems and diversions. Do you know what I mean? And this is all happening very soon, pretty soon. I mean, we all know that universe has no traditional concept of time, but well, since we have this timing card, and I like to see this timing card, it's the only pie where we get the timing card. We will just take it the way it is, okay? So very soon, things will happen in your love life that will finally lead you to letting go of everything that's toxic, okay? Let me just say it like that. Stay optimistic. Once you get rid of the toxic parts, you can finally step into the more loving parts and the more easiest parts, the parts where things will happen and unfold organically once again, right? And we had that before, yeah? Letting go of control issues, because the opposite of control is what? Trust. The opposite of control is to have faith and to believe. And I feel like you will get out of this control issue thing into the more, like loving part, the part where faith and belief and trust will take over the situation, which is good, which is always good. And I mean, like sometimes I'm like that as well. Sometimes I have the tendency to control things. I was a control freak. I think quite a lot in the past. I could get rid of some of this, like control issues. And these days I like to see what spirit is offering me without me trying to force things to happen. Do you know what I mean? And I really like that. It feels good. To me, it feels beautiful to be in this stage, to just allow things to happen the way they want to happen. And believe me, some beautiful things happened to me in the past since I'm like that. And yeah, this is an advice from Spirit to you, pile number 3. So this is it. I hope you like this message, this reading. Thanks for your feedback. Once again, thanks for supporting me, letting me do these readings, giving me such beautiful feedback every time. Wishing you all the best. See you with the next reading, you guys. Peace out. Namaste.